Well, there's been no significant rainfall in New Orleans the last few days. So imagine the confusion this morning along Bayou St. John when water started overflowing the banks.
Yeah, it was a strange sight to see, that's for sure. And the water level was incredibly high for much of the day. Mike McDaniel joining us live now from Bayou St. John to explain what happened there, Mike.
Yeah, the big question. So what this really comes down to is essentially a mistake that allowed too much water from Lake Pontchartrain to dump into Bayou St. John. If you take a look at the Orleans Avenue Bridge back here behind me, that will kind of give you an indication of where we are now. You can just now begin to see a gap between the bottom of the bridge and the top of the water. That was not there earlier. So that is a sign of progress. Yes, the water level has gone down just a little bit, but it was much higher earlier. Wading through water and ducks Wednesday morning.
This is just where we keep all of our boats back here.
New Orleans Rowing Club coach Emily Goss had to check on equipment after getting a call that water from Bayou St. John was overflowing.
It was panic. We wanted to know if the boats were okay. We just went through a lot with Hurricane Ida and getting a lot of repairs, so we weren't really ready to take on another one quite yet.
Along the entire stretch of Bayou St. John, water either touched the top of the banks or went over them, like where the rowing club keeps equipment near Soldiers and Fortress Streets.
The lake levels came up higher than expected.
Chris Humphreys with the Flood Protection Authority says work crews opened the valves at Lake Pontchartrain Tuesday because the water level in the bayou was low.
Our crews keep watch on the bayou to keep the water at a sweet spot that the residents along the bayou like, and we've learned over the years what's too high or too low.
By Wednesday morning, Humphreys says too much water was let in.
Once we were made aware of it, we shut it off and contacted Sewage and Water Board to help us out.
The Sewage and Water Board began the slow process of draining the water out.
It's a large body of water. It takes some time through these pipes to get the water leveled down.
As of Wednesday afternoon, Humphreys didn't have any reports of structural damage to homes.
There's been water in lawns, I think, was the extent of it.
It's a little different for the rowing club.
All of our PFDs were submerged underwater and our electric launch motor was underwater. So I'm taking that home. I'm going to try to dry it out.
A process to get rid of the water, to get back on the water.
It would be great if we had an actual enclosed boathouse, especially for situations like this.
And thankfully that situation is getting a little bit better as we go into the evening. Drainage is still working. It's happening right now, and it could last into the morning. Reporting live from Bayou St. John, Mike McDaniel, Eyewitness News.